This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 17th of May 2020 and I do hope that this episode finds you once again indoors and safe. Well, as restrictions in many places of the world start to lift, I hope it at least finds you safe and washing your hands. Right, we are going to... normally I would sort of kick this off by saying we're going to jump straight into it, but actually we're going to revisit a segment from last week's episode to start the episode this week off. By essentially, we're actually revisiting flight replicas. Now, last week we saw the release of the B-24 Liberator from Flight Replicas, something that had been in the works for them for quite a while. And I noted, much to my astonishment and much to my, I was very unimpressed about it, was their decision to actually charge for not only for the 32-bit version and the 64-bit version, which is, I said I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand. And their decision to charge separately for a prepared v4.5 version and a prepared v5 version. Now, in following on from that episode, within a couple of days of that episode, and from the members and other members of the community all giving them feedback that how unimpressed the community was about that, I am really happy to report that Flight Replicas have appeared to have backtracked with their position for that. While they are not updating the installers, so the installers it is still available for sale for a 32-bit version and a prepared v4.5 version, a prepared v5 version. They have now released available for free for all users alternate texture sets to be able to swap between version 4.5 and version 5 seamlessly. So it doesn't matter which installer you've actually purchased, the textures are available from the Flight Replicas website for you to be able to swap and change between them. So I have to say, Flight Replicas, thank you very much for doing that. It is definitely appreciated by the community, and I think it shows a great deal of your flexibility as a developer and the fact that you are very responsive and you do listen to the needs and the desires of the community while still preserving your independence as a developer and as an artist to be able to get rightfully paid for your work. So I think it's a great compromise. Really well done, guys. Thank you very much for doing that. As I said, my shout out goes to you guys, and yes, you guys are back on my Christmas card list. Right. Okay, so as I said, I do want to highlight that one. Thanks very much for being responsive, guys, for that one. All right. Continuing, that actually might be a great place for us to actually stick with Flight Replicas actually for one of the new releases this week. Is that Flight Replicas this week released an update for their Super Cub Extreme for prepared v5 exclusively. Now, the team of Flight Replicas made a Super Cub for 32-bit sims quite a while ago, actually, and it's been one of their staple sellers for a very long time. I feel terrible because I love the Super Cub, and I've never actually picked it up and actually flown it. However, they've rebooted it now and brought it up to be fully compliant with prepared v5. They've gone through and updated the 3D model, so updated sort of parts of the internal, the external parts of the 3D model. Probably the one thing that really impresses me the most actually is that with the 3D model they've made the cockpit of it fully functional but from outside of the aircraft. Now that sounds weird, but in the context of when you're doing a walk around, say you're in avatar mode, for example, you can now actually start the aircraft from outside of it using, by actually manipulate the controls, get it ready, and do a hand start with the actual turning the prop. So that's a really cool, a really awesome way to actually use the innovative way to use the avatar mode and get yourself set up with the aircraft. So really well done for that, guys. That's a really innovative and a really awesome way to use it. Now, they have released this, so this is designed exclusively for prepared v5. However, it should, in theory, still work in prepared v4.5 and possibly as well in 32-bit sims, but they very specifically state that they have not tested it in that. They have not tried it, and they have no intention of doing that. They said they are developing, moving forward for Prepared V5. Interesting position. Great to see that they actually, well, at least we know definitively how they're moving forward. But possibly the best thing about this, folks, is they've actually released this to the community for free. So that's a huge step and a great gift from the Flight Replicas team for this one. So if you are wanting to pick this one up, this one's available now directly from Flight Replicas. Head over to the website, pick this one up, available now for free. Alright, continuing on with other releases, and this one is actually another release from last week that I did. This is, well, not another release, but a release from last week that I did forget. So Batavia have been busy. They've been fairly quiet, but they've been busy and sort of releasing sporadically some content of late. And this time, they came to us with a reboot of their rendition of the Lockheed Neptune maritime patrol aircraft. And this time, they've brought it up to be fully compliant with the Prepared family of sims. So previously, it had been available for FSX and FSX. So there was an FSX version and an FSX Steam Edition specific version as well. But now they brought it up in line with Prepared. Now, this one release of this one is compatible with all of the Prepared sims, so 32-bit and 64-bit sims. So basically Prepared they call out V3 through V5, though assumingly it would work fine in V1 and V2 as well, though I believe the FSX1 version did work fine in V3 at least. Anyway, I'm not sure about V4 and V5. Other than that, this one's available for, as I said, there's no real changes to this one. This is simply it's just a remastered version. So the couple of new additions to this one, they had the new Firebomber variants, so 2 new Firebomber variants of the aircraft included, which is what happened to a lot of the Neptunes post their military service. They would go on to become Firebombers, which basically means gutting out the belly radome, but still providing, still using the external jet engines, operating the props, but giving them that ability to drop fire retardant. Included some updates to the gauges and gauge housings and actually the textures on that as well. Updated to the startup sequence, including now three port startup smoke. Updated to the landing lights and a couple of updates to the virtual cockpit as well. And has also been fully updated to make it fully compliant with VR activities as well. For new users, you're looking at picking this one up for about $22 or original equivalent. If you're an existing user, this is actually depending on where you purchase it from, if you purchase the FSX Steam Edition variant through Sim Market, at least, you're able to get a free update. For other people who've purchased it through other retailers who have since gone out of business, I'm not sure what the plan is for that. Possibly raise a ticket with Batavia and see what they want to do with that one, but there's no official word about that one at the moment. But otherwise, this is it. Looking pretty cool, pretty awesome. Available now from your favorite flight sim retailer. Continuing on with other ESP platform releases this week. So developer Pilot Plus has made the step from X-Plane over into the Prepared world by releasing their rendition of Bristol International Airport. So previously they had released this one for X-Plane 11 and they've now ported it over to Prepared V4 and V5. Now this does now fully support, incorporates full use of PBR material, updated layout as it appears at the start of 2020. All airport buildings accurately modelled, including a lot of interior modelling is done as well, and a vast array of atmospheric lighting effects have included around the area, including full layout and also authentic taxi signs and lighting has also been done as well. This is designed and optimised to be fully blend in with Orbix's True Earth Great Britain South for Prepared as well. Accurate, incredibly high definition in satellite imagery is included as well, including 12.5 centimeter per pixel resolution imagery for the airport and the surrounding areas as well, and it includes a vast array of local points of interest and VFR landmarks for the surrounding area, including the Mendip transmission station as well. So this one's coming in pretty standard price for $23 or regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct.
And another ESP platform release, this time from the guys at Leonardo Software. I was about to say release, but it's them updating their release of the Maddog, or Fly the Maddog, which is their rendition of the MD-80, and updating it for use in Prepared V5. Now, this is it may cost you money, it may not. It depends on which version that you're coming from. Now, in terms of what you get with this update, so as I said, this has been overhauled update with Prepared V5 and all the updates to Prepared V5. It includes an update to the 3D model as well, a range of bug fixes. The bug fixes have actually also been updated and incorporated into the Prepared V4 existing version as well. Also includes full support of Active Sky's Prepared V5, including dual beam radar. Includes support of an updated version or an updated beta release of TFDI's True Glass as well, along with a variety of other Prepared V5 improvements. Now, it includes some additional, as I said, there's no other real other improvements, otherwise it says that's the only improvements, otherwise it's still the same aircraft. Now, in terms of what it's going to cost you, so if you are a new user to the aircraft is going to cost you the eye-watering cost of 125 US dollars. If you are an existing owner of the original release Fly the Maddog X 64-bit edition, you're looking at paying about $20 for the update of this one. If you are a user of the 32-bit version, you're looking at paying around about $50 for the update for this one. However, if you're an owner of the MD-83, if you also own the MD-83-88 variant expansion pack, then you actually get the update expansion pack for free. So it's going to cost you, but at the same time, there is a little bit of stuff in there as well. At least you get all the versions now in this one, which is nice. But as I said, it's an incredibly expensive add-on, this one. But as I said, it's got a lot of praise. If you are interestingly, and if you do want to enjoy flying the Maddog in a Prepared V5, this is going to be a definite must-buy for you. This one's available now from Sim Market. Moving out of the ESP platforms and moving into the world of X-Plane, Carinado released their latest aircraft this week by releasing their rendition of the Malibu Meridian G1000 edition for X-Plane 11. So this is essentially just a port over of their ESP platform version of this aircraft, but making it now fully compliant with X-Plane 11 content, including full use of interior and external PBR texturing and materials, a full suite of customized FMOD sounds, includes a full support of dynamic range effects with dynamic drop movements, includes a custom engine dynamics and flight physics optimized for X-Plane 11 standards, and includes make sure it does set the realistic aircraft behavior for the real airplanes, including weight and balance as well, and is also fully compatible with VR use as well. So this one's coming in for the pretty standard price of this one, coming in at $35 US, or the original equivalent, available from your favorite flight sim retailer. In another aircraft release this week for X-Plane 11, saw the release from Dreamfoil Sims of their Schweizer S300CBi for X-Plane 11. Now, this helicopter itself has actually been around for quite a while from Dreamfoil, but was previously only compatible with X-Plane 10 and did not play well with X-Plane 11. But the developers have gone back and actually done a full update of the aircraft to give a full sort of redo of this one. They've overhauled pretty much everything about it. They've overhauled the model, updated it, did some fixes on it. They've also updated all the textures and now made all of the textures, both internally and externally, fully PBR compliant. They've updated a lot of the systems, including the GTX 327 transponder has been updated. They've updated the tail rotor, both the model and the physics as well. So it's actually designed to be used with X-Plane 11's experimental flight model to get the full custom user experience and the full helicopter experience of this one. It includes a variety of systems and simulations as well, and it's sort of realistic with a realistic flight model, including the overspeed limiters, automatic rotor engagements, and low rotor RPM warnings, functional circuit breakers throughout the aircraft, flexible skids in the model as well, which is kind of cool, kind of awesome. Includes some various different extra options as well, including the full support for sling load operations and functional floats, as well, and a removable auxiliary fuel tank and ground power unit, and a crop duster version with customizable weight and flow rate. There is so much going on through here as well. It is also fully compatible with the Vulkan rendering engine, which the X-Plane 11 platform has started using as well. Now, in a really bold step from these guys as well, that not only is, so if you're a new user of this one, you're looking at picking up this one up for about $38 US. However, if you're an existing user of, if you purchase the original version for X-Plane 10, this is actually a free update to you guys. Just log into your store page and you'll be able to get the update available now from xplane.org. Continuing with X-Plane 11, but moving into the world of scenery releases, saw this release from Global Art with their rendition of Vancouver International Airport. I feel like there's another Vancouver out for X-Plane 11. I just can't think of who it is though. But anyway, so this rendition, it comes to us as a airport layout as it appears at the start of 2020. Includes all airport buildings have been modelled with accurate models throughout all of the 3D buildings. Blah. Blah. Includes all airport buildings accurately modelled in full 3D. Includes customised runway textures, lines, taxiways, and also custom terrain mesh for the airport as well. Includes full support for AutoGate with visual guidance docking systems as well, and all fingers are modelled. A variety of static objects, including vehicles and aircraft, present throughout the scenery. Full support for PBR texturing and HDR lighting with custom night textures and night lighting included as well. Now, it also includes some winter options as well, including the winter texture set for the airport area, as well as support for de-icing signboards as well for those who fly the Zibo 737-800 as well. So a lot of stuff going here. Also fully compatible with World Traffic 3 and taxi route add-ons and other traffic add-ons as well. So a lot going on for this one. Looking at picking this one up for adding to your collection for $25 US or regional equivalent. Available now from xplane.org. Moving out of the flight sim world and moving into the world of train simulation, saw the release this week for Train Sim World of a new train. This one was for the LIRR M3 electric motive unit. So this one is the Long Island Railroad, is what that acronym stood for, and it was actually part of the major fleet renewal program during the 1970s for New York's Metropolitan Transportation Authority, which purchased over 700 of the earlier version of this, and actually would then go on to actually replace many of those, or would actually expand the content with these improved M3 EMUs by acquiring an additional 175 of them. So what is basically the feature differences between the M1 and the M3 was that these actually have longer cars. You'd actually get more passengers in them as well as updated engines. You could actually operate them in married pairs to give speeds of up to 80 miles an hour, 129 kilometers an hour on the Long Island Railroad route. So this updated, beautifully, lovely created, lovely crafted content includes for the M3 2-car EMU content, includes accurate true-to-life performance and handling with a highly detailed, accurate driving cab with, as I said, accurate true-to-life performance and handling, includes a variety of full authentic and detailed sound set recorded from real locomotives and a full implementation of timetable mode and 3 engaging scenarios implemented for Train Sim World. Now, in order to be able to use this train, however, you are required to have the Long Island Railroad New York to Hicksville route for your edition of Train Sim World available separately. And this release is coming in a pretty standard price, coming in at $20 US or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving into simulation of a very different kind to round out the simulation release news for this week. Saw the release this week of Super Mega Baseball 3. So this is an interesting franchise. It's come a long way, I'm pretty sure, and this one's come out and looks pretty damn awesome. This one does. So this brings us alive, and considering that there's not a lot of sport happening around the world, I feel that these sort of sporting simulation games are probably going to be taking off a little bit at the moment. And this is an interesting one where it actually gives a lot of simulation, both in terms of the sort of team dynamics, but also the actual playing as well. So you actually take on the role. Actually, it's almost like, in some ways, it's almost like FPS style of simulation, where you actually have to use your own hand-eye coordination to actually be able to, like, hit the ball or catch the ball and stuff like that, which is really kind of interesting. It's a quirky way of doing it, and as I said, it intrigues me a little bit. Probably not enough to get it, but as I said, it looks very intriguing. It also tries to balance a bit with the graphics as well. It's like, it actually is a beautiful, highly detailed, a lot of beautiful textures going on here, but it's done in this quasi-realistic cartoon style. Like, definitely the animated figures that you see here are this more cartoon-esque, but in some way it actually makes it better to actually sort of feel that well. So that's kind of cool, kind of interesting. The other cool thing about this is something you don't see very often, is they're offering a free demo of this title as well. So if you're not sure if it's going to be for you, you can actually get the demo, have a look at it, and see if you want it, and see if it's going to be for you before you actually buckle up and buy it. So if you are wanting to pick this one up and experience the thrill of the ball game, then you can pick this one up for $45 or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that does now round up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more. And if you do want to support the channel and all the things that I do here, please consider joining us over on Patreon at patreon.com/NovaWing24 and becoming a Patreon for the channel. Otherwise, folks, thanks very much for joining me. Don't forget, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.